Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, what is an interrogative? An interrogative is the type of sentence or clause that's used to ask questions, and there are four main types of question under the umbrella of an interrogative, which I'll now consider with you. The first is called the either-or question. The idea is I present just two options, and whoever's reading or whoever's listening chooses either option A or option B. For example, would you like the meat or the vegetarian option? You're either going to choose the meat option or the vegetarian one. It's quite a closed question, therefore. There's only two possible answers. The next type of question is called the tag question. And it's a question that's tagged onto the end of a statement. It would be something like this. Those shoes look dirty, don't they? If we remove everything from the comma to the question mark at the end of that sentence, we're actually looking at a statement. Those shoes look dirty. It's a tag question though, because I added onto the end of the statement a question to either the reader or the listener, or the person I'm talking to. Tag questions are often used in conversation or argument pieces to persuade someone to follow your view or respond in thought. The next category of questions is genuinely called the "were" question. Now there are huge numbers of words that fit into this category that we'll consider in a moment, but it could be a question as simple as, whose dog is that? The what questions are words including who, what, whose, whom, which, when, where, why, and how, which doesn't actually begin with a were. These are question words that we associate with open questions. That means that there might be more than one answer. There might be a range of possible answers. And I'd recommend looking back over interrogative pronouns, something earlier in the pronouns section of these videos, if you want a refresher on what those words mean. Finally, the fourth type of question, which is the most closed set of questions you could ask, only has two possible answers, or maybe three. I'll tell you that in a moment. It's the yes or no question. For example, did Jada win the competition? The answer technically just has two answers, right? Yes or no. In my mind, there's a third response, which is I don't know. But it's a very closed question. You either know she won or you don't know that she won. It was either a yes or a no or a I don't know. It's important that we know each of these four types of question though, so that we're aware of when we use them and why. Now it's your turn. For each of the 5 questions, I want you to identify what type of interrogative we're dealing with and how that helps the person that's being questioned. Hit pause if you need thinking time. Did Thomas go to the race? That is a direct yes or no question. You have only those two options, and the third option, as I've already mentioned, is I don't know whether Thomas went to the race. Who is responsible for my working conditions? This is a "were" question. I want to know the person or people who are responsible for my working conditions. Number 3. Would you prefer payment by cash or cheque? With this specific example, it's important that whoever is being questioned is shown the options they can choose from. So the either or method with this particular interrogative is quite crucial, because if they were to say something other than cash or cheque, like it just being added to their card directly, that would not be relevant to the person who's asking the question. It cannot be done for them. So by saying cash or cheque, we as the questioned person need to know that our options are just those two. They seemed out of tune, didn't they? That is a tag question. I've made the statement that they seemed out of tune, and then at the end I've added on the question, didn't they? I'm forcing whoever's part of this conversation with me to either agree with me or share what they thought. And finally, will you play ace in the next match? So, in this particular question, it's quite clear this should be a yes or no answer. It might be the third option, as I've already considered. I don't know. No matter how you view interrogatives, the type of interrogative you choose to use, whether it's yes or no, the what question, either or the tag question, is critical to the kind of answer you want to get from the person you're asking the question of. It's important to think about the kinds of question you ask people, to think about the quality of answer you get back. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?